Joining us as he does each month here on WHKY TV News is District Attorney Scott Reilly, who represents the 36th Prosecutorial District, that is Catawba, Burke, and Caldwell counties. Always a pleasure to have you in the studio, and we've got a lot to talk about. It was a pretty crowded courtroom recently when a murder case, a pretty high-profile murder case involving 3 deaths was actually, there was a plea bargain in that case. Talk a little bit about that and how that all turned out.
Right. The 2 defendants are Dontre Cumberlander and Graydon Hanson. This is a triple murder case that unfortunately occurred in April of 2017. Just the most senseless act of violence that I've probably seen in my 32 years of being an attorney in our criminal justice system, where the 2 defendants had fired into a carload of young people, 5 people in the car. Just for no reason whatsoever, these 2 defendants just fired into a parked car as these 5 people were leaving, having a nice evening, left a local bar in Hickory, and were getting in their car ready to go home, and all of a sudden these 2 people just shoot into their car, killing 3 and seriously wounding a 4th person. These defendants pled guilty a couple weeks ago in Superior Court in Newton, and both received sentences of 64 to 82 years in the Department of Corrections. I feel that with these pleas, I feel confident that these 2 defendants will never get out of prison. They'll spend the rest of their lives in prison, and my heart goes out to the victims' families. You're right, they did give very emotional impact statements to Judge Pomeroy, who heard the case. It's just devastating to lose a child, and to hear these victims talk. I hope that by this plea they'll have some type of closure now, and they'll be able to move on with their healing process.
I don't know how much insight you can give, but when it comes to a plea agreement in this case, is this something that, say, like Lisa Dubbs, the attorney for the defendants, and the DA's office, you get together and kind of hash things out? Is it something that was preferable on one side or another? Because I know that this is probably a more complicated process than maybe the public sees.
Right. For reasons I don't want to get into right now, we don't have the time, but the death penalty was not an option because of legal problems with that. So we did work this case out. We did work a plea. My main goal was to ensure that these defendants never got out of prison. If they did, they'll be in their 90s before they ever do get out. So that was my main goal, was to make sure that they never harm anyone again and spend the rest of their lives in prison.
Well, thank you so much for the update. A lot going on. I know you're staying busy, still trying to work a lot of these cases through. You had a backlog due to COVID in 2020, but I know that your office is working hard to get some of these cases resolved. We
are trying to resolve all of our cases, despite the backlog of cases of not being able to hear cases for an entire year, but we're doing our very best.
Well, thank you for coming in. Always good to see you.
Thank you very much.
District Attorney Scott Reilly, 36th Prosecutorial District, that is Catawba, Burke, and Caldwell counties, and he'll join us again next month here on WHKY TV News.